What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with Astrodfs bringing you our May 24th Championship Sunday video on Call of Duty esports on DraftKings. We did really good yesterday, better than we did Friday. Cashed both days so far, which is really good. The lineup did really good for London 3-0ing New York. That was really surprising. So we have two very interesting matchups here. I don't believe they're going to have the final game for like a showdown or anything like that. So we just have this last slate. I believe that's how it goes now. And yeah, so Optic Gaming 3-0's Minnesota. I think Minnesota is going to do a change. Can actually look at the bracket really quick. London 3-0's New York. That was really shocking. The Gorillas 3-1 Seattle. Seattle is going to have a big change, or something big is going to happen with that team, because none of them like this situation they're in. Not the coach, not the players, not anything. So something's going to happen with them. New York ended up 3-1ing the Gorillas. Chicago 3-0'd Minnesota, which, like I said, Minnesota is going to have a change. And then Optic Gaming came back after 3-1ing Paris. They ended up 3-0ing Minnesota. So, yeah, that's some interesting matchups. Chicago, New York. We've seen them play on DraftKings. They played the weekend before, I believe, too, before DraftKings got on this. And Chicago has been all over the place. Been really good, really bad, and then really average. Just no consistency there. I don't think they're going to find a consistency for a while. Maybe more practice with Pristine, which I think is going to, in the long run, do them favors. It's going to help Envoy, Scump, and Formal out. RCDs is already just really good, really consistent with what he does, but it's going to help those three players out because it makes them more comfortable, in my opinion. And then we look on the New York side, and Mac Melts is 9,200, and he just keeps performing. He actually had London, and that was just New York as a whole. They didn't look like themselves there. Still had a positive KD and a lot of capture time. He ended up with 81 fantasy points in a 3-0 sweep to where they lost. It's not the best, but you look at some of the 4-game, 5-game series, he gets over 100. He got 81 in a loss in a 3-0 sweep. So that's nothing to worry about them there. New York's played really good against Chicago lately, ever since adding Mac Melts. So I'm liking that. And then we go ahead and look at the London and Optic Gaming and Slasher. I mean, Chino being added to this roster. You look at what he's done fantasy point wise on DraftKings. I mean, in game we clearly see it, but if we're talking DraftKings, it's been ridiculous. He's got over 100 fantasy points each time. The only time he didn't is when they played a 3-0, and they sweeped Paris. They 3-0'd Paris. He got 82 points. Game 4 or 5. I mean, besides the Dallas one, but that's another story. Ever since Chino getting added, though, Slasher's been playing great. If I'm looking for somebody that I'm gonna put in my captain, it's probably gonna be one of these expensive players. It's probably gonna be Envoy, Mac Melts, Slasher. You know what? Let's pick a team. Just get that out of the way. So this is actually a toss-up of who I like for winning. I'm gonna pick Optic here against London. London's been playing really good. Zero's been filling in phenomenal. And I didn't even talk about London. I'm sorry. But yeah, I said yesterday that he was way underpriced. It was a steal getting him 3-0 sweep, and he got 93 fantasy points. He jumps up $3,200. So There's a reason why Scraps didn't have the type of series. He's a really, really oddball. Not someone I consistently want numbers like Dylan here. Been putting up pretty consistent numbers for the games played. Wuskins has just been underperforming, in my opinion, just ridiculous. The online part has been tricky for him, but Zero, I continue to say it is their player there. So we picked Los Angeles as our team. We can go pick a flag, or our captain, I'm sorry. And there's one guy I want in there. Slasher. We'll see what we could do with the rest of the team. See if anybody's underpriced that we like here. Zuma is somebody that brings interest for me against the Huntsman here. But I think one player that I'm going to continue to like playing against Chicago is Donnie Temp. We have to add Mac Melts. It just has to happen. Zero against Optic Gaming. Really good pick there. And we have 8,900. So we could just throw some out there. And for the video's sake, we're going to pick a Chicago player, not Envoy, and pick Formal. So 2 London OGLA players and then 3 Chicago New York players, with Slasher being my guy. I want to put out there that I think Dashy is, as long as they can get a good host, which they've been having problems with, Optic Gaming has, he's one of my players that I like. I really like 8,400. I think it's a very fair price for what he can do. He's one of the players, 8,400. You can go Dashy or Kenny here, or Quavo, 7,400. Really under the radar people. I think Quavo is going to be one of the guys, unless, one of those people like Osimo put out something that says pick Quavo. He shouldn't be as high owned as some of these other guys in here today. So yeah, that's just a quick lineup of players that I like. Because I did end up cashing really good yesterday, and the day before, cash that day. So trying to go for a 3-peat here. Hope you guys enjoyed the content yesterday and this video. If you guys do, please leave a like. We've seen the subs go up for us, and we appreciate that a lot. And regardless of what happens today, I will have videos going up next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if all goes according to plan. I think there is an event next weekend, if I'm not mistaken. But we will continue to have Call of Duty, DraftKings tips, advice, lineups, whatever you want to consider this. So hope you guys did enjoy, and we will see you then.